Hi, my name is Mara Burrows and today is February 11th, 2018, and today we will be talking about all the different bones that we have in our system. As we do that, I'm going to go ahead and point out the different parts in a small little skeleton that I have at home. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start with the anterior part of our skull. Here we have the frontal part of our anterior skull. This part right here is the ethmoid. You have your sphenoid right here, your nasal bone right here, your vomer right here. You also have your mandible right over here. Your maxilla bone is right here, and your zygomatic bone is right over here. Okay, now we have the posterior part of the skull. We have the mandible, which is right over here. You have your occipital area right here, your parietal, which is at the very top, and you have your temporal, which is at the side right over here. This is the lateral view of the skeleton. Here we have the ethmoid, the frontal, the lacrimal, which is just this area right over here. You have the mandible, maxilla, nasal. The occipital is the part back here. Parietal is at the very top. Temporal, and the zygomatic bone, which is your cheekbone. Here's the inferior view of the head. We're going to start with the ethmoid, which is located here. Next you have your frontal, occipital, temporal, and your sphenoid is right around here. Here is the vertebral column of the spine. The axis and the atlas is at the very top. The following is the cervical spine. Then you have your thoracic, followed by the lumbar, the sacral, and the coccyx at the very bottom. Next we have the thoracic part of the body. We have the mandibula here, the body of the sternum. You have your floating ribs right back here, which are 2. You have your false ribs, which is your ribs 8 to 10. So 8, 9, 10. And then you have your true ribs, which is from 1 to 7. Okay, you also have the clavicle, which is right here. This is the scapula right over here. After that, you have your humerus bone, which is sometimes called the funny bone. You have your radius, right, which is the inner bone that connects to the thumb. And you have your ulna as well. To the hands, we're going to start with the distal end, which are the phalanges. Then you have your metacarpals, which is right over here. Then you have your capitate, harnate, lacanate, scaphoid, trapezoid, trapezium, pistiform, triquetron. Okay, now we're going to go to the lower end of the skeleton. We have your ischium. Oops. Okay, now we go to the lower end of the skeleton. You have your ilium, your ischium, your pubic bone. This is right here, your femur. You have your patella and your tibia and fibula. Next we go towards the foot, which I will show you more of a lateral view. You have your calcaneus, your cuboid, your inner cuneiform, lateral cuneiform, medial cuneiform. You have your phalanges right over here, and you have your metatarsals right over here, and your talus right over here.